Hey, Tristan here, and in this video I'm going to be taking you through a 10-minute mobility flow routine. These type of flows are really good for increasing things like flexibility, helping you recover from the resistance training that you've done maybe yesterday or other days. So it can be really beneficial to just kind of get you moving, help recovery and keep improving sort of your mobility and flexibility. So in this particular video there's going to be a bit of a focus on lower body and some of the positions that are maybe more familiar with squatting. The starting position is actually the one I'm in now. So what we're going to think about doing is just sitting in this sort of like deep squat position. So from the side, from here, so we're going to just sit in this position, and all we're going to do is just rock from one side to the other side. And you should just start to feel a little bit of a stretch in the back of your calf, in the back of your foot, just as we're moving from side to side. So we're just going to do this a couple more times. And then from there, we're then going to pop the hands onto the floor, and we're just going to try and stand up while keeping the hands on the floor. Now, straight away, you're going to feel a bit of a stretch in the back of your legs, and that's good, that's what we want. At the top of this position, we also want to feel like our upper back is rounding and you're almost pushing the floor away. So that's going to give you a stretch on the back of your lat muscles in your upper back. So you're then going to come back into this position. We're just going to repeat this 4 more times. So we're in this deep squat position, and you can even just sort of look up at this position here, and then we're going to stand up. Rounding that upper back, feeling the stretch in the back of the legs, sinking back into that squat, and then coming back up. Don't worry if you can't get as low as this, or if your heels are coming off the floor, but just do your best to try and get into a position that feels comfortable and it's just giving you a little bit of a stretch sensation. So we're just going to go through this one more time. And then coming back down again. And then just going to come back into this one once more. So we're just going to rock onto one side. You can even just apply a little bit of pressure as you sort of rock into that side. So we're going to go one more each side, and then we're going to switch into a new position. So another one that opens the hips. So what we're going to be thinking about doing here is stretching the adductor muscle, which is on the inside of the leg. So we're going to set up in a hands in knees position. We're going to put one leg out to the side, and that's going to be nice and straight. And then what we're going to do is think about rocking back onto the heel. As you get to here, you're going to start to feel a big stretch here. Just hold that for a couple of seconds, and then come back forward. So we're going to go for 4 on each side, holding that position. Forward. From the side, so you can see, so you've got that straight leg. And we're rocking back onto that heel. Cool, one more on the side. Perfect, okay, so I'm going to switch sides. If you notice one side is tighter than the other, don't worry, it's really normal, and this sort of thing will help with that to try and address any imbalances. Cool, so one more on this side. Okay, good. So, next little part, we're going to sit into similar sort of position. We're on our hands and knees. But this time we're not going to be straightening the leg, we're just going to sit back, similar to what you'd see in sort of like a yoga pose. So we're going to sit back into this position here and then just try and sink the chest into the floor for a couple of seconds. Nice deep breath, and then coming back up into this sort of position here, and then sitting back. This time, as you sit back, just think about sort of driving those hips outwards or knees outwards, and really try and sort of sit into the heels of your feet. Hold this for a couple of seconds. Just going to repeat this 2 more times. From here, come back. Nice one, good. Just going to, next one, just going to work into the hips a little bit. So, they're called hip swivels. So we're setting up, feet quite wide, hand behind the back. In this position here. And what we're going to do is we're going to move the legs into a position like this. So from here, so you can see, trying to create a 90-degree angle of your knee here and knee here. So once we've kind of found this position, we're then going to transfer from one side to the other. So we're swiveling over, so we create that 90 position here, and coming back over. We're just going to repeat this process. Each time try to sort of flatten the knee into the floor. And this is a really good one for working into the hips. So we're going to do this a couple more times. And then from there now, I'm just going to work into each hip that a little bit more. So staying in that 90-90 position, we're going to bring that chest up and we're going to lean directly into this knee here. So chest up, keeping the back relatively straight and leaning into it until you start to feel a stretch in your sort of glute area. So just get to an area where it just starts to feel a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit of stretch pain. Hold that for 10 seconds. And take deep breaths and blow out and try and increase that stretch. And then we're going to switch over straight into the opposite side. And then coming back once more into this side. And then once more into this side. Okay, so the last little one's going to be downward dog, so it's going to be a bit of a variation of that. So just standing into, coming back into that deep squat position, and then from here, you're going to step out into almost like a press-up position, and we're just going to walk up into this sort of position here, try and hold this position, walking back out, so almost in that press-up position, and then walking in while trying to keep the legs nice and straight. So you should feel a big stretch down the back of your legs and your calves, that's what we're trying to feel. Stepping out into this position. Just go 2 more times. Into that position. Last one. Cool, all done. So nice little quick flow that you can do for your lower body. A bit more sort of squat focused and working on the hamstrings and the hips. Hope you liked it. Speak soon.